What if your book could bring in dream clients without being cringy? Wouldn't that be beautiful? Well, it's possible. And in this episode of Coffee with Karma, I'm going to be sharing with you 5 ways that your book can sell you without being cringy salesy by adding value in such a way that's strategically aligned with attracting your ideal clients. Now, these are only the tip of the iceberg, but if you follow these 5, you will be well on your way to attracting clients with your book. Hi, my name is Carma Spence, and I help executive coaches, business leaders, and consultants write, publish, and market client attracting books that grow their business while sounding like them, accelerating through the process using AI assistance, and gamifying it so that you're having fun while you're doing all that. Ta-da! If you are watching this video on YouTube, please do me a solid and like this video, subscribe to my channel, and ring the bell. That way YouTube knows that this is good quality stuff and it should be pushing it out to all those wonderful people who also want to write their book. So let's get to the first one. Number 1, the right book filters for the right people. That means that your book is well positioned to not only attract your dream clients, but repel the ones you don't want to work with. And there's a strategy to doing that. Part of that strategy is what I call the pink gorilla strategy. And that's where the pink gorilla is the big bugaboo, the big thing that everyone in industry talks about. And you may agree with it or you may disagree with it. But it's in how you dance with the pink gorilla that attracts in your dream clients and repels everyone else. Because it's how you lead that pink gorilla or tell it to go sit and dance with somebody else. It's how you express and approach and talk about that particular pink gorilla. That is one of the ways that you filter in the right people and filter out the wrong people. Now, I am not saying that the wrong people are bad or like inherently wrong, but they aren't your peeps. They're somebody else's peeps. So your book filters them in a way that says, go find your mentor because I'm not her. Number 2, it demonstrates a framework in action. This is key. This is absolutely key. If you don't have a framework for expressing what you talk about, you sound like everybody else. You may be talking about what everybody else is talking about. It doesn't matter, but you're talking about the way you do, and you have a specific framework. For example, I have a framework for coming up with the right idea. I express it in different ways, but my primary one is the MSV method. Mindstorm, sift, validate. And there are different ways you can mindstorm, sift, and validate. And I'm fine tuning those methods all the time so that my clients get better and better results. But I still have a framework. I have my book marketing buffet framework for book marketing. These are things that I talk about, those topics that other people aren't talking about, those topics. It's my framework. And that's what partly makes me the go-to person for my ideal clients. They like my frameworks. They're attracted to them. And it's my frameworks that show them I kind of know what I'm doing. At least in this area. Okay, I may not know how to make a chocolate tort without it not rising. And yes, that's a reference to a previous post I did about the disaster birthday cake I made my dad when I was young and didn't know that eggs came in different sizes. If you want, you know, I will see if I can find that post and I'll put a link to it in the show notes. But anyway, there are things that I don't know how to do very well. But writing a book and marketing a book are not those things. I know how to do those things. So I have frameworks that helps me do those things better. Number 3, it embeds a natural call to action. You don't want to have your client attracting book be one of those books where the person reads it, goes, yeah, that was really good information. Maybe write a few notes and then put the book back on the shelf. No, you want your book to call your reader to take an action. The number one action you want them to do is to get on your email list. Because once they're on your email list, you can nurture them. Now, there are different ways you can do this. You can have an opt-in that's specific to the book, which is extremely helpful. And if you have the time to do that as part of your book writing process, that is the perfect way to go. Because then you know this lead came from my book and no other place. It came from my book and no other place. And that's really a key piece of data. Now, you can't always do that. Sometimes you're not interested in it. Maybe you don't want to segment your list by who came to you because of your book and who didn't. Then you can use one of your other opt-ins that you just generally have. Or here's a twist. Use one of the opt-ins you already have, but give it a specific landing page and or tag so that you know when, yes, they wanted this opt-in that everybody else wants, but they came from my book. There's different ways to do that. I do teach that. Now, if you're enjoying this so far, then you will probably really like my new program, the Author Switch Advantage. It is only $27 and lasts 6 days. But it's not just 6 days of doing all this stuff. No, 6 days of 3-minute or less audio notes and a simple task. And at the end of the Author Switch Advantage, you will know which book you should be writing. So if you are going, I know I want to write a book, but I don't know what I want to write about, or I know I want to write a book, but I've got 10 million ideas and I don't know which one I should work on first, the Author Switch Advantage is a quick and effective way to nail that idea and know with clarity which book you should be moving forward with. And it's only $27. All you have to do to sign up is go to carmaspence.com/AAA. carmaspence.com/AAA. $27, 6 days, and you're on your way. Now let's get back to the show. So, number 4 is it creates a pre-sold reader. The way you talk about your framework sets you up as such an authority and a go-to expert, but that by the time they finished reading your book, they're like, this person not only knows their stuff, but they get me. That means you're including clues throughout the book that says, I know what's going on in your head on this issue. Your reader should feel like, I feel seen and understood. Those books are the ones that get clients. And number 5, it positions you as the obvious choice to solve their problem. How does it do that? Through your particular framework, the stories that show you understand where they're coming from, you have demonstrated that you are the perfect person they should be working with. Now, the beauty of this is when you do it right, the people who are your best clients see themselves in your book, see you as the go-to expert. And by the time they get on the phone with you, they are pre-sold. Heck, they may not even need to get on the phone with you. They might DM you and go, where's the link? Send me the Google Doc, whatever it is. And the people who aren't quite the right fit, they could be right fit adjacent, or they could just be the wrong people. They aren't moved just yet, but they may be moved later. Now, obviously, in a 15-minute or less podcast, I can't tell you the specific steps of how to do all that. That you'll have to watch other content or work with me. But I hope that these 5 tips gave you a direction, something that you can aim for. And if you know you want to know more, then hit me up in the DMs and let's have a conversation. That's what I've got for you today. This is Carma Spence, and I will be back on Friday when I will be talking about The King's Speech. Yes, the film, The King's Speech, and what it can teach us about writing a book. I will see you then. And for now, this is Carma Spence saying ciao.